I was born in Rapid City, South Dakota. I talk more about that, but it's just mostly really flat and boring there. So my dad, seeing that, saw the opportunity in Alaska in the 80s for construction, threw us all in the car, and we came up the Alcan, and here we are. So when my family got here to Anchorage, we landed in a Pentecostal church that's here in town. So I spent a lot of time in the church version of Boy Scouts, which was called Royal Rangers. After Royal Rangers was youth group. I loved youth group. Something really clicked there. And so after I graduated, I decided to go to a school of ministry out in the valley and became a youth pastor for 4 years at the church I grew up at. While I was a youth pastor, I met my wife. It might be seen as a little scandalous, because you don't, as a youth pastor, date the students. And in my defense, she was freshly graduated. She was not supposed to be there. She was at a summer camp. We were there. I found out that she wasn't in high school anymore, so we started dating pretty quickly, and we were married a year later. We had this plan, 6 years we were gonna have a kid. And 6 months in, we got pregnant with our firstborn accidentally. Valley's 9. I also have a middle child. He's a boy. He's 7, and his name is Lyric. And my youngest, her name is Navy, and she's 2. My wife encouraged me when the opportunity showed up to be a realtor. When you go from working for somebody and then having your own business, your own job, your own responsibilities, you change the way you think. I mean, instead of being reactive, you become proactive, you're very growth-minded. And that vibe really took off in our family. Danielle started trying a few things, and she decided to go for Mrs. Alaska. While pregnant with our youngest, we didn't even come close. We didn't place that year. But 2 years later...
I will now announce the winner's name of Mrs. Alaska, United States. Danielle Wakefield.
So back to when I was a youth pastor, you know, as you can see, made some decisions that were controversial. I would go behind the YMCA to the trailer park back there, and I'd get the kids loaded up in a van and bring them to youth group. My church at the time said I ruined the youth group by bringing those kids there, and maybe I did. But I've just had this heart for people that don't normally get reached out to. And when I learned that Hot C was all about ministering to people that don't normally get chosen to be ministered to, and that we're downtown on purpose, yeah, I want to get in on that all day. So Danielle and my family, we've been coming to Hot C consistently. It's been great. We've been growing. Pastor Chris, he actually preached a couple sermons recently that caused us to want to come clean on all of our deepest, darkest stuff that we may not have shared with each other. So I came clean on all mine. It was so hard, and she didn't. And then the following week, she's like, I gotta tell you something. And she tells me that our 6-year plan to have a kid being accidentally interrupted at 6 months, it wasn't an accident. She just wanted to have a baby. And I was mostly relieved. I'm like, oh, okay, good. I'm glad that's all it was. And that is the Wakefield journey so far.